without further delay, let's begin today's event. I would like to introduce our first speaker, City of Waterloo Councilperson Belinda Creighton-Smith.
Thank you, Jennifer. Welcome again. We are so excited. On behalf of the City of Waterloo and our mayor, we want to say thank you to the EPA for awarding the City of Waterloo $1 million to help us clean up polluted brownfield sites. This grant allows the city to continue transforming once polluted, vacant, or abandoned properties into community areas. Communities that are full of assets, welcoming opportunities for economic revitalization, and creating amazing jobs. This grant will continue the work already underway by the city to clean up multiple sites, including many riverfront former industrial locations that can now be used for housing and other projects. We are a former factory city of Iowa, with our economy built on several large industrial operations and access to an expansive railroad system. But today, numerous abandoned properties, some with perceived contamination, are scattered the downtown and adjoining areas. Conflicting land uses, poor physical structure conditions, and environmental uncertainties have kept property owners from reinvesting. So the city is addressing multiple issues, like eradicating blight, environmental uncertainties, to help increase property owners reinvesting. That's our desire. So we, Waterloo, are transitioning numerous brownfield properties into reuse success stories. And the history is laid out for you on the website. In fact, the city has leveraged over $70 million for a variety of projects since 2000. This will add to the effort considerably, and for this we are very grateful. Thank you. And now I introduce Mr. Walker, Sam Walker.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is great to be back here in Waterloo. Last year I was here, I told no, we don't build short-term relationships. So this is a testament. This will be a long-standing relationship. Our regional administrator, Meg McAllister, sends her warmest regards. Investing in communities to make them healthier, cleaner, and more economically competitive is one of EPA's top priorities. Be quite frankly, that's just what we do here in the Brownfields program. I'm happy to say that this work will continue because Waterloo has been selected to receive $1 million for a multipurpose grant to further assess brownfield sites and prepare them for reproductive use. This grant was made possible by President Biden's Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, which is a once-in-a-lifetime financial investment in our nation that will have significant positive impacts on health and environment in the communities across the country. Through this funding, $1.5 billion will be set aside for brownfields throughout the U.S., which will allow more communities to apply for grants like this. Waterloo's multipurpose grant will be used to conduct 20 environmental site assessments, fund cleanups across the city, including the former Altstadt and Langlas Site. The possibilities of redevelopment are endless. This grant opportunity proves that environmental protection and economic development are not mutually exclusive. Matter of fact, they go hand in hand. Communities across the U.S. have received more than $34 billion in cleanup and redevelopment grants, which had led to the creation of 175,000 jobs. Also, we know that redevelopment in areas impact the residents around the property. It increases property value after redevelopment by about 15%. Our regional administrator, Michael Regan, says, we're turning blight into might. And it's true. We are investing in communities in a very big way. But before I close, I always have to thank my staff because they do a wonderful job. Jennifer Morris, who's sitting here, Keith Slider, who's the project officer, Dallas Schaefer, who worked with the communications. And thank you all for working with the cities across this Region 7, across the heartland, to make things like this possible. Mayor Hart, who's not here, City Council, Noel Anderson, Mel Pence, and the city and state personnel who have been working on this redevelopment initiative for quite some time. Congratulations on your hard work to secure this grant. Quiet as it is kept, these grants are very competitive. So I want to congratulate you on putting together an excellent proposal. This funding will impact a lot of communities in a positive way, and I can't wait to see what the future holds here in Waterloo. Now I would like to take a moment and invite our next speaker, Noel Anderson, City of Waterloo Community Planning and Development Director.
Good morning, everyone. You know, they never clap for me at council meetings, so that was pretty nice. Hey, just to follow up to some of the things that have been noted. The City of Waterloo realized the need for economic revitalization many years back, as the city is still working to recover from the population losses from the 1980s, the loss of major industries like Rath Packing Company, layoffs from John Deere back in the 1980s, Construction Machinery Company, the Chamberlain Manufacturing Company, and several others. In 2000, the City of Waterloo began its partnership with our first $200,000 EPA grant. Actually, it was H.R. Green had come to the City of Waterloo and said we should be working on more brownfield projects. Then Planning Director Don Tiemeyer told them, if you find us some grant money to do it, we'll do it. And the rest is kind of history. These assessment grants help the city to move ahead with phase 1 and phase 2 activities, kind of like Mr. Walker was talking about. We are helping for companies to see that these sites are only perceived to be contaminated. They really can be rebuilt on. And so instead of them going out to the greenfields, going out to the industrial parks, we're revitalizing these existing brownfield sites. Since that first grant in 2000, the city's received over $2.95 million in funding from the EPA in the form of assessment grants, cleanup grants, and even a brownfield revolving loan fund at one point. With over the $70 million in new projects, and again, kind of for the viewers out there, what sites are being redeveloped? I mean, you'll recognize a lot of these: the Cedar Valley Sportsplex, the Expo Plaza Center, the Public Works Campus, the single-speed microbrewery and pub. Mixed income projects like Grand Crossing was also a mixed income, mixed use project, so it has commercial and residential, bringing more residential to downtown. The former Friedel Bakery renovation across the street from Wonder Bread. The River Trails development with 72 new units as well along the riverfront. So again, this grant today will allow us to continue to do phase 1, phase 2 environmental reports community-wide on suspected brownfield sites. We will be starting in the Rath area with the Altstadt and Langlas Bakery building, the former Rath buildings, Crystal buildings, multi-stories we're working on for redevelopment. Some Crystal buildings over on Highway 63 in the riverfront. The big white building, if you're familiar with it, would be a great riverfront site for new housing. The TechWorks campus, as we're working on the Hard Courts project and other outlots over there. And then really working on further expansions of the Grand Crossing site where there's additional land. We worked with the Iowa DOT, again, utilizing some of our grants to get them to sell additional land for additional phases there. So overall, and I like this in the grant application, which again, HR Green helped us put together this, it notes that this work will mitigate the legacy of public health and environmental impacts from these sites and to repurpose and revitalize these sites for the benefit of the community. So we thank the EPA for their continued partnership in this and thank the mayor and council for allowing me to go after these types of grants and do this type of work. And I think I'm introducing Mel Pins from the Iowa Department of Natural Resources.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, I'm pleased to be here today to extend our department's congratulations, cooperation, and our ongoing support to the City of Waterloo as they continue to demonstrate their leadership in site redevelopment and community enhancement. My name is Mel Pins. I am the coordinator of the Iowa DNR's Brownfield Redevelopment Program. Brownfields are sites where their environmental reputation is that they're dirty, dingy, or tarnished, much as sometimes a shade of brown might be described as. And it can be easier to look at investing and developing at other sites, thus leaving these sites to sit in further decline. Brownfield sites don't necessarily fit one type of description. You've heard a few names thrown out here, some past industrial sites. Oftentimes, a brownfield might just be a corner gas station where there are concerns about past petroleum leaks. It could be a vacant dry cleaner site where there are questions about potential impacts from solvent releases. It could be an abandoned building where remodeling or demolition is slowed because of questions about hazardous building materials like lead-based paint or asbestos. So oftentimes, brownfield sites are seen as an obstacle, but Waterloo sees them as an opportunity, and so does the Iowa DNR. Many brownfield sites don't have significant issues, and with proper environmental assessment, risk evaluation, and necessary cleanup, these sites can return again to productive use in their communities. I've been privileged to represent the Iowa DNR and working close with the City of Waterloo for almost 20 years now, on so many projects, both small and large. An old bakery that turned into a brewery, what a great project. And last year, at the National Brownfield Redevelopment Conference in Detroit, Michigan, the City of Waterloo was awarded the National Phoenix Award for the best project in US EPA's Region 7, which is here in the Central Midwest. That is just the ongoing proof, yes. That is the ongoing proof to the commitment that this city has had from its citizens, from its leadership, from its employees. And again, we have been pleased to work with the City of Waterloo throughout. The DNR looks forward to continuing to assist the City of Waterloo with their implementation of this grant, both as a partner in environmental protection and enhancement, and in the larger goal of community growth here and throughout Northeast Iowa. Thank you very much. And now for what everybody's been waiting for, the presentation. So I'll turn it back over to EPA.
All right, if we could have Mr. Walker and Noel, are you accepting, or Belinda, will you accept it for the city? Who is accepting for the city? Belinda, all right. Both of the city council. Good.